so let's pour just a little bit. Cool. All right, that is a neat effect. Hey everybody, it's Anna. Welcome back to my Fluid Art channel, and thank you so much for stopping by. So I'm trying something fun, a new experiment today. While I was cleaning out my kitchen a few weeks ago, I had some spice jars that I didn't need, and I was looking at these spice lid tops, and I was like, you know what? I think I could pour with those. So this one has kind of larger holes, and this one has smaller holes, and I don't know which one I'm going to end up using. It depends on the consistency of my paint and how it flows and all that. I also have a sink strainer because I know that paint will flow through that. So I'm going to be using one or more of these, but I'm going to try to do a new technique that I've never seen anybody else do. That doesn't mean they haven't done it, it just means I haven't seen it. I'm going to call it the rain pour, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer some colors in a split cup, and then I'm going to pour them onto either the spice jar lid and let them drip out, or if it doesn't drip fast enough, possibly a strainer. Now I don't want it to pour out, I want it to come out in drips, like raindrops, because when you have multicolored paint that's flowing gently through some holes, the drips you get are often these beautiful multicolored drips, and they're really pretty. So that's what I'm going to try to get today. I have no idea how it's going to turn out, so come along with me. Let's make a painting. So I have 6 colors and some white base coat, and my paints are all mixed to about a medium thin consistency, which means it runs nicely off the stick, leaves a small, soft mound. If you want to know more about how I rank my paint consistencies and which techniques I use them for, click the link that's down in the video description. So I have my colors kind of in pairs. I have like blue with an accompanying sort of teal color. Then I have yellow with an accompanying gold. And then I have some pink with an accompanying purple. So in my split cup, I want lots of white because I don't want these colors to be like really solid. So I'm going to have white base coat, and then I'm going to have 2 colors together in one slot, and then some white, and then another 2 colors, and then some white, and then another 2 colors. So we have sort of pairs of colors, which should make kind of a nice blend. I don't know, we'll see how it goes. These are all mixed with Floetrol, about 1 part paint to 2 parts Floetrol, and there's no silicone oil in them. So I'm going to start by putting sort of a base layer out. This isn't exactly a pillow, but it's kind of going to act like a pillow. It's not a pillow because this isn't a bloom pour, but what this is, I'm not going to cover it all over the canvas. It's just going to be kind of a layer of paint that I'm going to do my design on, and then I will stretch it. So because I have the split cup, and because I'm not sure how the actual raindrop part is going to work, I'm going to do a little bit of a ribbon pour first. Very small design, and then I'll add the raindrops. And I think having the sort of swirling stripes of color as well as the drips might make a really cool effect. So let me layer my cup, and I'm going to put white in 2 of the segments because I really don't want these colors to blend too much with each other, and I also don't want the colors to be really dark. Rather than lightening up my colors to a nice pastel, I'm adding white, and I think they'll do some blending on their own. Okay, I think we'll put blue and teal over on this side. So I'm going to do a layer of blue, then a layer of the teal, and then another layer of blue. That way it's mostly blue, but at some point the teal will pour out as well. Then on the left side, I'll put yellow and then gold, and then a little bit more yellow. And in the middle, I'm going to put my pink. And then my purple. And then a little bit more pink. And these are all colors that I had mixed up for a class a few months ago, so I don't remember exactly which colors or which brands that I used, because I know for some colors I actually mixed in order to make a nice color. So if I have information that I can share with you, it'll be down in the video description, and if I don't, sorry. All right, got a cup layered here, so I'm going to start by pouring out some ribbons, just a few. Try not to make them really wide. It'll be sort of small ribbons winding around just a little bit so that we're not starting with a plain background. Well, I don't love that part. Also, this is looking very primary. Lots of blue, pink, yellow, which is good. I didn't want my colors to mix. I maybe wanted them to mix a little bit more than that. Okay. We'll call that good, though. Now, I have to figure out which of these I'm going to try to pour through. I'm going to try pouring through the small hole one first, just to see. And if it does not drip at all, then I might try the larger holes, or I might try the strainer. And I'm going to do this before I tilt, because I want the drops to be able to spread out in size as well. All right, so let's pour just a little bit. All right, let's see if this paint will flow out. There we go, there's a drop. Oh, that's cool. I think I need to pour a little bit more on. So what I'm learning is that you don't really want to move it too much while the drips are coming. Otherwise, the drips make streaks. But I do like the speed that this is dripping. So I'm going to keep using this small one. Okay, I'm going to pull this off for a second because I can't tell exactly how the colors are looking coming out. They may be blending somewhat. Now gold, because it's sort of brownish, anytime that mixes with a blue or a green, or even a pink, it's going to give the impression of brown when you look at it from far away. So it might not actually be getting muddy, but just in case the longer the paint runs through here, just in case it makes it more muddy, I'm going to wipe this off and then start again. That way it's nice clean paint on each section, but I'm really liking it. I can't wait to spread out some of these drips and see how they turn out. I want to make sure I have plenty of drips in the middle, because as I stretch this out, I think that's where we're going to end up with the most design. I was waiting for like one more drip to come off and it wasn't coming. Okay, cool. All right, that is a neat effect. I can't wait to see how these drips kind of spread out. So I'm going to go ahead and tilt this. I think this is enough paint to spread over all the corners, but I may add some more white if I need it. Somehow I missed the middle here. Actually did want to lose that middle. Okay, cool. Just trying to get my lines kind of balanced. All right. Wow. That is so crazy. First of all, the colors are so primary. I mean, I knew I had pink, blue, yellow. It was a very sort of primary set, and they were all separated by white, so there wasn't a lot of blending. I think I was expecting a little bit more of the turquoise to come out, so we have a little bit down here and a little bit in some of the drips. I stretched it by tilting just because I wanted to keep it nice and simple. I do wonder if I had spun it, whether some of these drip spots would have stayed more clean, because some of them have gotten a little bit warped, and I don't love that, but it's kind of cool. I'm like debating, do I add more? But I think if I add more, they're just going to be really small drip spots, and it's going to look strange. So I think I'm going to call it quits for now. I may come back and try this technique again, because I feel like it has a lot of potential for fun effects, but I think for now I'm done, so let me give you a close-up. All right, here it is. So this is crazy, and it's so different from my usual style, both in the colors and the design, but it's really fun. So first of all, let's look at the ribbons. Do you see the gold shimmer in that one? I think that's just a beautiful kind of peachy color. You can see the colors underneath, but there's gold shining. So even though the ribbons are very kind of primary colors, it is still cool, and I'm glad I had the gold in there. And then let's look at these drip spots. So these ones up here got kind of warped out of shape, but these ones in the middle, these stayed a little bit better. And those designs in there are crazy. Look at that. Those are so interesting. I love the blend of colors, the little bits of gold, the cell reaction that we have in the middle of those spots. It's really fun. So I might be trying this again. I will let this dry and come back and show you how it looks then. All right, here it is. It dried very nicely. The gold is super shimmery. I always love seeing the metallics after a painting has dried. That band of color is particularly cool because you can see the colors underneath, and then the gold shifts nice and brightly. So then looking at those spots in the middle, some of them do have some prominent gold, which is cool. So my mind has been very sort of active thinking about this technique because it's really cool and I see lots of potential with it. And I'm like, how would this behave with thicker paint? How would this behave if I spun it instead of tilting it? So I feel like this raindrop technique has a lot of potential to offer, and you will probably see me trying it some more in the future. But thank you so much for joining me for this experiment. I hope it's inspired you to try something new, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye guys!